Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and I'm making a layout today for Bramble Fox, and this month we are collaborating with Lollipop Box Club and I am making a layout using the Lollipop Box Club Merry and Bright November kit. Try saying that fast. I am using some of the papers that are in the kit, as well as the Memories Perspective from Bramble Fox, as well as some other bits and pieces from Bramble Fox too. So I'm adding in another perspective. You can see there it says warm hearts, and some flare badges too. So I'm starting off by cutting up the pattern papers from the Lollipop Box Club kit into strips about 1/2 inch wide each. So the papers are about 5 3/4 inches wide, so I'm leaving them at that length. I'm cutting a couple down, but I'm mostly keeping them at that length. And I chopped up I think 4 of each, and I'm just distressing the edges. It turns out that I need some extras, so I do cut a few more later, but at this point I'm just sticking with the 4 each and distressing the edges. I've also pulled out the gold spot tissue paper from the box packaging, and I've torn that into some strips as well, approximately the same length, and I'm just going to arrange those onto my layout to see how things are going to look. So my plan is to have like a central photo, and to have it sitting on this background that I'm making out of the strips of pattern paper. So here's the point where I realise that I need an extra couple of strips, so I'm just cutting up a few more, and I want to have I want to kind of taper off my top and bottom of my strips, so that I have a little bit more interest, and it kind of looks a bit better. So I am going to cut a couple shorter and put those at the top and the bottom, so I'll just do that in a moment. There we go, just doing that there, and adding in a green one in the middle. I love that green triangle print, and a smaller blue white one or bluey greeny one at the top. So I wanted this journaling card that's from the Lollipop Box Club. I wanted that to the right of my photo so that I was able to write my journaling on there. Quite often I finish the layout pretty much and go to write my journaling and I've got nowhere to write it. So I thought I would solve that problem by incorporating a journaling card and leaving some space for my journaling. So that's what I've done here, and obviously that card is perfect for writing on because it has lines on it. I've distressed the edges of that card as well, and I've mounted my photo on the gold striped envelope or little paper bag that came in the kit, and yeah, that was a really lovely colour, and I thought I would utilise that. Unfortunately the stickers were quite sticky, that was sealing them closed, and therefore they did damage the bag slightly when I tried to open them, so I couldn't use it just as a bag on my layout with the top bit showing, so I had to just chop it down, so that's fine. With that warm hearts perspective, I have just backed the heart onto red paper. That's that red cardstock that came in the Lollipop box, and I've just literally stuck those onto the piece of red paper and then trimmed around them. I used a pencil to begin with, I think, to work out or to draw around to cut it roughly, and then I had to trim it a bit further once I was actually sticking it to make it fit exactly under the perspective. So that way I can place my title anywhere I want to, and the behind it doesn't show through the hearts because obviously they're open hearts. So I'm just now getting all my background stuck in place, so literally just going through, adding some tape to the back of each one of these strips and sticking them down. So they're all distressed, they're all slightly higgledy-piggledy, and I really like the way that it looks. It gives me like an ombre effect. I've gone from light at the top to the really deep red at the bottom. I'm also planning to use that really gorgeous trim, this kind of string and leaves underneath my photo at the bottom. I'm just adding a couple of strips of silver washi tape. I love this washi tape, it's really pretty. It's a silver foil and it has white Christmas trees on it, so a really lovely design there. So I'm just going to, I've just put in a couple of strips of that, and I'm going to attempt to get in some red pom-pom trim because I love a bit of pom-pom trim. It's great fun. I think it adds a lovely texture to a layout. but I didn't really have anywhere ideal to put it, so I just picked one of the strips and have put it under there. So just getting everything kind of stuck in place now. The bare bones of my layout is down, and I'm just starting to stick down all the detail. I have just been sticking, there's a circle at the top right. I think that's a piece of the ephemera from the Lollipop Club, and I've got a sticker down at the bottom left of the photo, and another piece of ephemera plus a flare. So I'm just getting all those stuck down. I'm sticking down my trim now. Now trying to stick that down was interesting, so I've used glossy accents. What I should have done was use my hot glue gun. I should have done that. That would have been way better and way quicker than trying to get it in place with my glossy accents and holding it in place for a few minutes while it dried. So yeah, hot glue probably the way forward for that. I'm just cutting up this Merry and Bright little cardstock square, or it was a rectangle, but I've trimmed it down so that the sentiment is the red is quite tight around the sentiment, and I'm just dressing the edges of that as well. I don't know if I've done it yet, but I will be. And I'm adding my Warm Hearts Perspective to one of the red strips at the bottom, and also the memories as well. And I've also added an and sign, which is just from a set of alpha stickers from previous year's collection. So just adding some puffy stickers. I've got a stocking, I've got mittens, I've got some baubles. These are just from one of my, my Christmas stash really, so one of last year's kits I think I had. So I'm just using up some bits and pieces from there, and I've just stuck that Merry and Bright down after distressing the edges, and I've put some foam pads behind it too to give it some dimension. I have these massive baubles which are from an ephemera set from elsewhere, but they were just too big, so they just did not fit at all. So I tried, but they just was not working. I managed to get one in, that one that says ho ho ho, but that's literally as far as I could go. So I'm just adding in a few stars, wooden stars, and just kind of scattering those along the vertical line of the layout, and I'm just going to, and I've also got a red perspective star, which is from I can't remember which set, but it's definitely from, it might be called Fancy Stars, or it might just be called Oh My Stars or something like that, from the Bramble Fox store. And I'm adding in a few flare badges at the top there. So I've got two at the top, one that says Jolly and one that is a little dog with a Santa hat on. So I just got those. They're from one of the winter release flare sets from the Bramble Fox store. So I've just stuck those down with a giant foam pad, as well as the Capturing Happy Moments one from the Lollipop Box Club kit. I'm just getting my stars, wooden stars, stuck down, just using glossy accents for those, and also realise at this point that my perspectives are not stuck yet either, so quickly get those stuck down. Oh, and I have even peeled the back of that one. That's bad planning. Yeah, just getting all of those bits stuck down. Also the ampersand sign too, because it's a puffy sticker and I just think that it might ping off at a later date, so I'm sticking that down with some extra glossy accents. Have a little sticker there that says Cold Hands and Warm Heart, and I thought that went really well. And then the green one at the top says Holiday Happening, so that all works really well. So I've handwritten in my journaling off camera, and I'm pretty much finished now. I'm just going to add a few spots of gold ink. So I'm using an Inklings Minor 49er by Shimmers. So I'm just adding a few spots of those here and there, and also coming in with some enamel dots, because if it wasn't packed full of sequins, enamel dots, etc., this layout wouldn't be by me. So I'm now coming in with some sequins, so adding all the little bits and pieces now in true Niki style. So yeah, I have really enjoyed making this layout. I'm pretty much done now, just sticking down those sequins. I enjoyed the papers that were in the kit, the Lollipop Box Club kit. Obviously the Memories Perspective was fab, and I paired it with another one. Oh look, I'm now adding even more. So I've got gems now. They're from the Lollipop Box Club kit, and so I'm adding in a few of those as well. I was carefully picking my colours because I was aiming for like red on the red areas and blue on the blue areas, etc. So yeah, so I've really enjoyed this kit. It was a really fabulous kit to work with, and it was really easy to make layouts with. So I have really enjoyed collaborating with Lollipop Box Club this month, and I have a couple more layouts to share too. So stay tuned for those, and thank you so much for joining me. That was Niki Rowland for Bramble Fox and Lollipop Box Club.